Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to your second masterclass, your virtual masterclass with me. I'm Heather, just in case you don't know me. When you're popping on here, whether it's live or whether you're watching the replay later, say hi. Say hi to me. Is anybody on with me live? I know it's lunchtime, but I would love to know if anybody's saying hi to me. So hello, happy Tuesday to everybody. I am making sure that I can see everything. Okay, so let's do eyes. Let's get into it. Last week we did flawless face and highlighting and contouring. So if you did not get to watch that live stream, go pop in there and watch that. It's only a 15-minute class, and I really show you how to even out your entire face, but then also highlight and contour with concealers. So super easy, super fun. Jump in there and watch that. And then I think next week I'm going to do brows and lashes because I already have those done today. So we're not going to touch on them on the eye makeup class. So join me next Tuesday at noon Central and we'll do brows and lashes and all of the tips that I've got for those two things. So, okay. So I promised you that not only am I going to talk about how to do your eye makeup, but I'm also going to talk to you about how do you pick out colors to accentuate your eye color. And then, so we'll talk about that all. First of all, brows are done, mascara's on, and primer's on. So those things have to happen first. And we always do eye makeup first. So I don't have any other makeup on, so I look kind of weird. But that's always how it is because you want to make sure you can clean up your under eye area and always have a perfect look and you don't have any fallout with powder or anything like that. I promise you, it is the weirdest habit in the world to break, but it is oh so worth it. It's one of the very first things I learned in my makeup artist classes. And I was like, it just blew my mind because that is definitely not how I learned how to do makeup. I mean, not that I really learned how to do makeup. You just kind of, other girls were doing it in the bathroom at Palmer Junior High, and then you just kind of do it, it's not like I took a class until I did. And I was like, well, I was doing that all wrong for like 30 years. So there you go. First things first, I'm going to use my all over eyeshadow brush that's in Mary Kay's brush collection. Love this brush. I may use a couple more, but honestly, I could get away with 90% of the time. I just use this brush. So just so you know, brushes are super fun. Great brushes are everything. You don't have to have a gazillion though. You can really get one great brush to do most of the things. Okay, so now, so with my eyes, I have a hooded eye and it's more of the mature variety. So I will definitely talk about why I'm choosing different things for my eye shape and how you can accommodate your eye shape and age as well. So first things first, always, is you want to use a light matte color as your first highlighter. And we're going to use 4 different colors. And so the color that I'm going to use is just a darker, I don't know if you can see that sandcastle. It's a darker highlight because I'm darker skin. I'm one of the upper beiges you can get. So upper beige to bronze, you want to make sure that your highlight color is one of the darker ones because you don't want, and this was, oh my gosh, always the mistake that I make, and I still see a lot of people make it. They put that really light, like a biscotti or a blossom up there when they're darker skinned, and it looks like you've been wearing tanning goggles. Like it just whites out that whole area and it stops being a highlight and starts being like the focal point. You do not want your brow bone as the focal point. That's why we don't use shimmer up there, because the way that light will pop off of it will highlight that brow bone. And no one in the history of the world ever came up to anybody and said, oh my gosh, girl, you got a sexy eyebrow bone. Like, it's just not a thing. So we're not going to highlight that. We're going to make sure that we're optically lifting, but we're highlighting your actual eye. That's what I want people to see. Okay, next color. You can do a shimmer color here, or you can do a matte color. Totally up to you. I'm going to pick matte because I like myself better in a matte color. The shimmers are really pretty and they're really fun. I just tend to see pictures of myself or a video later and go, girlfriend, yeah, should have kept that matte. So I try to keep those 2 colors definitely matte. So I'm going to pick Blossom, which is one of the lighter ones, and it's going to go right there on that tear duct and the inside half of the eye. So we're just optically brightening that whole eye area. Now, if you do like shimmer, which I'm not mad at you, go for it. Rose gold is like my favorite. Candlelight is beautiful. Smoky quartz is fun if you want a cool kind of silver color. So those are my faves. Okay, now ready? Midtone. Midtone, I'm going to keep this one matte as well, because once again, it's going to highlight my brow bone. And I think everybody should keep the midtone matte. So there's my opinion on that. And I am going to do Cinnabar. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this rainbow effect. I'm going to start on the outside of the eye, because the darkest place you put your brush is, or the first place you put your brush is the darkest. And so I'm going to blend. So here's my crease down here. I am blending up on top of that brow bone. What that's going to do for me, you'll see in a second, is it's going to make my eyes that matte pulls back, recesses that area right there, which makes my eyeball stand out. So this eye already looks bluer and bigger than this eye, all because of the midtone. I see so many people, or some of the questions I get a lot of times is, I never do eye makeup because when I do, it doesn't even look like I put it on. Well, usually that tells me that you didn't use a primer, or that you didn't pull these colors up high enough so that when your eyes were open, you could actually see the color. That's the key. And you can actually put your midtone on with your eyes open. Let's see if I can do it. Well, I have to, because I have the webcam. See, I'm all the way up there. My eye is not even closed. It's definitely higher than my crease. So Cinnabar is a great color. It's like this reddish colored brown. I love to mix also. Like, I'm obsessed with mixing Cinnabar and Dusty Rose. I do that a lot. Or Cinnabar and hazelnut, or Cinnabar and soft heather, or hazelnut and cashmere haze, or Dusty Rose and soft heather. Like, just have fun with it. Like, they're all mattes, and you can just kind of really use them interchangeably. Okay, so the key is gray blending. You can see how much I blended. I'm only 3/4 of the way. I didn't go all the way down. It's going to make my eyes look smaller. We don't want that. So we're just out here in the rainbow. Now I am going to change brushes, really just to make it look like I use another brush. I don't really need to, just so you know. I can quite effectively do this. Just refreshing, make sure I'm not missing anybody. If you're here, say hi to me so I can say hi back. Okay, so I am going to pull out the eye smudger brush, and I'm going to use an accent color. Now, accent colors, this is where you can have some fun. This is where it really does get important as to what eye color you have. So you want to always be opposite. I made 4 little palettes for you because I have blue eyes. Brown is my best color. Browns and golds and bronzes and coppers. I can get into some plums, but this is going to be my best little eye palette. Now, if you've got green eyes, your opposite color is purple. So purples and plums, this is Dusty Rose and Merlot, and blue eye girls and brown eye girls can wear this. So when in doubt, Dusty Rose and Merlot is really going to be your very best friend. Love these little palettes. And then for my brown eye girls, I know, guys, the world is your oyster, and the oyster says put blue and green on your eyeballs, because that is where you're going to really pull out the color of your eyes. So this is the time to have some fun. So we can do grays or blues or greens or whatever. Now, to make my eyes stand out, like I said, I want to do browns or bronzes or plums. So let's do one of my best colors is hot fudge. Oh no, let's do espresso. Okay, so espresso is a deep brown. I'm going to pull it on the outer half, and I'm just stacking it on there. So I'm on the outer half. I'm right by my lash line. This is where the darkest place of your whole face is going to be, right in those little corners. I'm going to go back to my other brush, grab some of that espresso again, and now I'm going to blend. I'm going to blend a little bit up I'm going to blend a little bit out. And what I want to do is I want to create this dark corner out here of fun color. The key to wearing darker colors, if you've always wanted to wear a smoky eye, if you've always wanted to have some fun with these colors, is to keep that dark on the outer half of the eye. You can see how it makes my eyes look bigger and bluer instead of making them look small and closed, because I can't afford that. With my eye shape, really, I'm not even going to say age. I'm going to say with my eye shape, my hooded eyes, I've never been able to do that. 20, 40, doesn't matter. So I just got to be careful with where I put my eye placement. And a lot of people have that same kind of thing. Hooded eyes, deep set eyes, close set eyes, all of that is going to have that same issue. Okay, I am going to put a little bit of eyeliner on today. I don't normally. I usually just use powder, but I'm going to be outside the rest of the afternoon. And I want to give a little bit more grip to my eyeliner. So I'm going to use my fancy little brush. That was Mary Kay Black pencil. I'm going to use Onyx eyeshadow, and I'm going to set it. If you want your eyeliner to stay and you want it to, did you see how very little eyeliner I used? I didn't make a whole sweeping lash line. I just jammed it in there a little bit to give my powder something to stick to, because my powder is the look that I want. I want that soft, smudgy, defined lash line. I don't want that pencil-y lash, the eyeliner look. That's not an attractive look for me. And it's not something that I normally teach. I want smudgy definition. Okay, I'm going to take espresso, which is that dark brown. And I'm going to go on the lower lash line. Pro tip, alternate the colors of your eyeliner. Do black on top and a different color on the bottom, even just brown, and it will make your eyes look bigger. And never, you guys, never use pencil or liquid underneath the eyeliner, or the lower eyeliner. Even if you want to use that on top, don't do it on bottom. It is not attractive. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, now I'm going to take our Botanical Moisturizer, Hydrate. I'm going to stack it underneath my eyes. I'm going to pick up the powder. Hi, Michelle. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you forever. Hi, hi, hi. I'm going to take a sponge and I'm going to wipe off in this sweeping fashion all the way up like this. And I'm going to get all that powder off. One of the things that, if you caught me last week with the highlighting and contouring that I talk about, you never want your eye makeup to be past your eyeball to your eyebrow. So when you take your cheapy little sponge and you sweep up, it removes all of that excess powder over there. So then you would do your lashes and, you know, your brows and all of the things. So that is eye makeup. It's very, very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. It's not necessary. But once you get the technique down, so you've got the 4-color technique, then you can start playing. Then you can add some fun colors and some fun little color pops. So let's say I'm like, okay, this is kind of boring. Heather, you just did browns. Like, ugh, let's have a little bit of fun. Not too much fun because I can't afford, you know, I got blue eyes and hooded and like, I can't have that much fun. But I'm going to show you how to do a color pop. Probably should have done that before I cleaned up. But this is Shiny Penny. So it's like a super bright copper color. You can come in here and you can color pop things. So you can put a little bit of shimmer down here. You can do like a teal pop or a purple or a silver. Like, you can have a lot of fun. I'm going to stay in my color scheme today. But what I love about this is that when you, I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the webcam, but when you see me in person, like when I blink, you'll see this little copper pop. That's why they call it a color pop. Super fun way to add some color. Another thing that you can do, really should have waited to clean up my eyebrows or my under eyes. So I'm going to take my eyeliner brush again. And what if I'm like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be wearing browns. I know I'm supposed to be doing that, but I just want to have a little bit of fun. Like, I just want to have a little bit of fun. Let me show you how to have a little bit of fun, like an M&M's worth of fun. this brush, let's take emerald, which is our bright green color. You can come under here. And this is a fun way to add some subtle color and not make it blue all over. Just a little bit of fun. M&M's worth of fun. Anybody know that movie? And then that way I've got a little bit of color, but not too much. It doesn't overwhelm my eyes. It's, once again, they're just like little hits, little pops to jazz up your eyes. Okay, so tell me what you learned today. Tell me what you're going to try. I hope to see you next week for brows and lashes. And thank you for watching our virtual masterclass number 2.